Dear students, welcome to this session. In this session, we will look into the lab program number 2 and the flowchart. So in the previous video, you have seen the explanation for the lab program number 2. Just I repeated the explanation so that it would be easy to understand the flowchart. Now I have two windows here. On the left hand side window, we have the C program, and on the right hand side we have the flowchart. Okay, lab program number 2, simulation of the calculator, and this is the flowchart. So what we will do is the way we did on the lab program number 4, we will just compare and correlate between the C program and the flowchart. And in C programming, if by any reason if you don't understand any instruction, the flowchart, you can go back to the flowchart and you can understand how the flow of the program or how the flow of the logic is going on. So if you understand the flowchart properly, you can understand the program, and if you understand the program, you can understand the flowchart, and vice versa. So make sure that you go through the flowchart and understand every step that has been written here. And if you understand here, you can easily convert this flowchart into a program. So in the earlier sections, I told you that since we already have the programs, we will have the flowchart as well as the program, and we will correlate, and we will try to understand the C program using the flowchart. Now we have the C program. If you say here, this is the hash include stdio.h main. So here we consider it as the start of the program. So that is represented by this start block. And once the program starts, these are the declaration parts, so we will not be representing that on the flowchart. So it is assumed that whichever flowcharts you want, whichever variables you want, you can directly use in case of a flowchart. Now this is the printf statement, where this is the output operation. What we are doing is we are displaying some information so that user will enter the right appropriate inputs. And what kind of information we are displaying? We are displaying what is the expectation or what is the input that is required for the program. So for this particular program, we require operand 1, operator, and operand 2. So we will display printf. If you want to say here, enter space operand 1, operator 2, and operand 2. Basically you are telling user to enter the inputs required for the program. So corresponding to this, and then we read it. So using the scanf, we read it. So the first part, it is not required to mention it on the flowchart, or if you would like to mention that, you can have one more parallelogram block here, and you can say display the message to enter the inputs for the program, that is operand 1, operator, and operand 2 and operand 2, that you can include. Or you can directly say read operand 1 OPR. OPR is the operator, which is, if you correlate with this program, this OPR and this operator are same. So you need not have everything exactly the same from flowchart to the program. If it is same, well and good. If you have some other variables that is used in the flowchart, that is also perfectly fine. So next step is read operand 1 OPR operand 2. So that is the read. And once you read it, if you see the program here, what is the statement we have here? If statement we have here. So what if will do, it will check whether here the condition, it will check whether operator is equal to plus sign. So here you are putting the, for decision making, you put the rhombus. Okay, rhombus if OPR equals plus sign within single quotes plus. So as we know, the if statement has two possible paths. One is either true or one is false. this condition might result in true or it can result in false. Let's say if the given operator is plus, then this condition becomes true. So operator is equal to plus, then what will happen? We will calculate the summation. Result is equal to operand 1 plus operand 2. So we use the rectangular block whenever we are doing any kind of a calculation. And after that, once we do the sum of both the operands, then we will display the result. So whenever we are doing the input or output operation, we use the parallelogram block. So using this we will display the result, and then the execution will continue. Okay, so this point is a representation of this point. After this block, it has completed the, so if this statement is true, it will execute this inner part and the execution will come here. So that is the exact point here. Okay, now if this condition is false, what happens? If this condition is false, it will not enter. So open curly brace and closing curly brace, it will not enter here. Instead, the control will come to this point, and which is this point? That is this point. So if this condition is false, it will skip this part and it will come to this point, and from there we have one more if statement. If operator is equal to minus symbol, again we have a rhombus, and we will check if OPR is equal to minus. Again this has true path as well as false path. If it is a true, what we are going to do? Result is equal to OPRND1 minus OPRND2. So we will find the difference of the two operands, and that is stored in the result, and we display the result, and we continue with the execution of the next statement. So if operator is equal to minus, this is true, we will calculate the result, we will display the result, and we continue with the next statement, that is if statement. We will continue from this point, and that point is nothing but this point. Let's say if given operator is not minus, so if this condition is false, we will not execute this part. From here to here we will not execute. If this condition is false, where it will come? Execution will come to this point. So if this condition is false, the execution will come to this point, and it will execute the next if statement. Okay, just I will scroll down. Okay, we'll go to the if operator is equal to multiplication. So if operator is equal to multiplication, so similarly flowchart. Okay, so we have continuation because this did not complete in one page. So next block is this, if operator is equal to multiplication. So again we have rhombus, if OPR is equal to asterisk. Okay, inside the single quotes. Again it has option of either this statement can be true or false. Based on that, I have two paths. If it is a true, okay, what I will do? Result is equal to OPRND asterisk multiplication OPRND2. So this multiplication is calculated, stored in the result, and we display the result, and we continue with the next statement. So if the statement is true, we execute this part, and we continue with this statement. After this closing curly brace, we will continue with the next statement, that is next if statement. Okay, and if condition is false, we will not execute this part, we will directly come to this point. So if this condition is false, means the given operator is not asterisk, okay, not multiplication. If this condition is false, we don't do this multiplication and displaying, we will directly go to this part. Okay, and we continue with the next statement. Now on this side, flowchart side, if you say the page is complete, so I cannot draw the rest of the flowchart here, I need a fresh page. So how I can connect to the next flowchart is, we have to use one circle. Okay, we call it as a connector. If you remember, we talked about this in the flowchart. This is a connector, just a circle, and inside I put a label A, B, X, Y, whatever the label you want to put, you can put the label A. And when you go to wherever, when you draw it on the next page, you start with the circle saying that this connects to the next page. So I will show you the next page. So you can see here, this is the end of the page, this is the beginning of the next page. So I start with a circle A. So you can see it is beginning with a circle with a label A. So what is the next instruction? Next instruction is this if operator. If operator is equal to forward slash. I am checking if whatever the user given operator is forward slash. So that is again rhombus here, that is the decision making. If OPR is equal to forward slash, again I have two choices, true or false. If it is a true, okay, then it will follow inside. So what is the inside step? Inside this, so this is the beginning of this if condition and this is the end of the true block. So after if, I have opening curly brace here, closing curly brace here. So whatever is inside here is a true block. Means what? If operator is equal to forward slash, all the statements inside the true block will be executed. So if the statement is true here, we have one more statement where we are checking again one more if condition, whether the operand 2 is equal to 0. So denominator we are checking. So again if it is a true, again I will have one more if, one more rhombus, if operand 2, operand 2 is equal to 0. So if operand 2 is equal to 0, we know anything divided by 0 is infinity. So in order to avoid that divide by 0 error, we will just display that if operand 2 is given as 0, we will say it is a invalid operand. So if operand 2 is equal to 0, then if this statement is a true, then we will say display invalid operand. Means the whatever the operand that is given is invalid, we will display, and we will continue with the next statement. Means if operator is equal to forward slash, it will come here. If operand is equal to 0, what it will do? It will come inside here. It will say invalid operand, and it will not execute this else block. It will come to the next statement. That is, next statement is this if. So that is where it has come. It has come to the next if statement. Okay, let's step back one step here. Let's say this condition is false, means the operand 2 is not 0. For example, user has given 5 forward slash 2. So 2 is not 0, false. If it is false, what we are doing? We are calculating the division. Result is equal to operand 1 divided by operand 2, and we are displaying the division. And after that, we will continue with the next statement. So how did this this block correlate with the source code is, if operand 2 is equal to 0 is false. So example, we took 5 forward slash 2. So 2 is equal to 0, false. When it is false, it will come to the else block. So in the else block, we are calculating the division, operand 1 divided by operand 2, and then we are printing it. After it completes here, it will come here, it will come here, and it will go to the next statement. So that is what is happening. After displaying the result, it is coming to the next if statement. Followed? Now let's say if the operator that is given is not forward slash, if it is something else, so this condition will become false. Operator, let's say the operator is given plus equals forward slash false. So it will directly come to the next statement. Means it will not execute this true block. The execution will come to this statement, that is the next statement, that is if statement. So if this statement is false, it will come to the next statement. Okay, it will skip all these things. So it will come here. Then what is the next statement? We have one more if statement, and we have conditions where we are checking the given operator is not equal to plus, not equal to minus, not equal to multiplication, and not equal to division. Okay, not equal to division. Okay, if all this is a true, okay, means let's say operator given is dollar sign, dollar not equal to plus true, and dollar not equal to minus true, and dollar not equal to asterisk true, and dollar not equal to forward slash true. So all are true, true and true and true is true. So when this is a true, what we will say, invalid operator, because we know that dollar is not a valid operator. So we will just say invalid operator and we will end the program. So if you correlate with this flowchart, this if statement is nothing but this one, again a rhombus. Inside the rhombus we have if OPR not equal to plus, and OPR not equal to minus, and OPR not equal to asterisk, and OPR not equal to forward slash. If all this is true, then it will say display invalid operator. Suppose if this is false, when it will be false, let's say user has given the input as 5 plus 2. So user has given plus, so plus is a valid operator. What happens when the first statement is executed? Plus not equal to plus, this statement becomes false, and false, and with when we do the false and then use the AND operator, irrespective of what is the result on this side, false and anything is false. So this statement becomes false, so it will not enter the true block, so it will come out of the loop. So whenever there is a plus sign, whenever there is a plus sign, it will execute the plus block. Whenever there is a minus sign, it will execute the if block for the minus condition. And whenever the operator is asterisk or multiplication, the if statement corresponding to that particular block will get executed. And if the operator given is forward slash, this particular block corresponding to the division will get executed. And if the given operator is not equal to any of those, then this block will become true and it will say display invalid operator, and the program will end. Okay, if it is invalid operator, it will display invalid operator and stop, and if this is false, directly program will stop, so it will not do anything. Okay.